Hi my Victorians, and welcome back to another episode with me, Victoria. Today I wanted to read to you a story from a book that I found that belonged to my dad, and it's Bobby Bear's Annual. So this is a book from 1962 and the cover is falling off, but I thought it looked so creepy and so interesting that I wanted to read a story to you guys. So I hope you enjoy this video, and let's get into it. Today's story is Seeing Cecilia. "She's bound to come with us today," said Bobby Bear. "Maisie loves the cinema, I'm quite certain." Suddenly he held up a warning finger. "Here she comes!" The front gate had banged, and a moment later Maisie Mouse came into the room where Ruby Rabbit, Bobby Bear, and Percy Pig were waiting. "We're going to the cinema," said Bobby. "You'll come, of course, Maisie?" The newcomer smiled. "I'm so sorry," she answered, "but I'm afraid I can't. You see, I'm seeing Cecilia!" chorused the others. "How did you guess?" asked Maisie. "It was simple," grunted Percy. "You've done nothing but see this mysterious Cecilia for weeks and weeks. It doesn't matter what we decide to do, you're always seeing Cecilia. Who is she? Can't we meet her just once?" Maisie shook her head. No, she answered slowly. "I'm afraid you can't." "Well?" She looked brightly from one to the other of her three friends. "I must be off. I only came in to tell you I was seeing Cecilia!" yelled the others. Of course Ruby, Percy, and Bobby enjoyed the film, but none of them could forget Maisie and her strange invisible friend. It was exactly the same for the next few days. It didn't matter what the rest were doing. Maisie would go off to see Cecilia. "I know what," cried Bobby at last. "I vote we follow Maisie. That way we can see Cecilia for ourselves. We'll be detectives." "How lovely!" burst out Ruby Rabbit. "Shall we disguise ourselves? I could go as a gypsy. I won't be a moment." And away she dashed, soon to return dressed in a gypsy costume, with big earrings, a scarf over her head, and carrying a tambourine. "There!" she cried as she gave the tambourine a bang. "How do I look?" giggled Bobby. "Like Ruby, dressed up as a gypsy." "You are silly," he went on. "We can't disguise ourselves. We must just keep out of sight, that's all." Anyway, with Ruby back in her old clothes, they waited for Maisie. And when she arrived to tell her friends that she just had to see Cecilia, they started to follow her. And what a dance Maisie led them. They were through the woods, over the hill, down the valley, through lots of villages, across streams, and finally back to Bobby Bear's house. "Now may I see Cecilia alone?" cried Maisie as she whirled round and faced her friends. "Then you knew you were being followed?" gasped Percy. Maisie laughed. "Of course I did," she answered. "Anyone could hear you sucking those bull's eyes miles away." She became serious. "Now, I really must hurry off. Maisie Mouse giggled. "I don't want to keep Cecilia waiting. Bye." "I give up," cried Bobby. "I can see what's happening. Maisie likes this mysterious Cecilia person better than she does her old friends." "All right," he added rather crossly, "then she can have Cecilia. I'm not bothering about Maisie any longer." It must have been about 3 days later that Ruby Rabbit, Percy Pig, and Bobby Bear each received an invitation card. "Gosh!" cried Percy happily. "It's an invitation to a lovely kind of open-air party. There's bound to be lots of things to eat. I'm going to enjoy myself." Ruby Rabbit nodded. "So, shall I?" she agreed, but she gave a deep sigh. "I wish Maisie was coming with us." "She'll be too busy seeing her precious Cecilia," put in Bobby. "I'm not going to worry about her." And yet the others could see that he was worried about Maisie's strange behavior. Anyway, at the last day of the party arrived, and Ruby, Percy, and Bobby waited as long as they could just to make sure that Maisie wouldn't be coming with them. "It's no good," declared Ruby at last. "She isn't coming." "Right, let's go," said Percy eagerly. "I just can't wait to tackle the lovely food." And his friends had to cling on to him to stop him from getting to the open-air party too early, a thing which they knew would have been very rude. At last the three friends heard the sound of music coming through the trees ahead. "There it is!" yelled Percy. "There's the party!" And he broke away from Bobby and Ruby and practically ran the rest of the way. "Maisie!" gasped the invited guests. "What are you doing here?" demanded Bobby. "We thought you'd be with your precious Cecilia." Maisie Mouse beamed upon the others. "Oh no," she said. "I had to be here. You see," she took a deep, deep breath. "This is my party." "Your party?" gasped Ruby. "But why didn't we know about it? How did you manage to keep it a secret?" She gazed around her. "Why, all of this must have taken you ages to prepare." "It did, Ruby dear," came the voice of Miss McMouse as she came out of the shadows. "Maisie has worked very hard to give you and the others who are coming a really big surprise." Suddenly, Bobby Bear had an idea. He looked quite sternly and smiling at a smiling and very happy Maisie Mouse. "Tell me the truth," he demanded. "Did you invent this mysterious Cecilia so that you could have time to prepare for this lovely party? Is that it?" "Well, nearly," agreed Maisie. "But would you like to meet my friend Cecilia?" "Rather," chorused the others. "Come this way," giggled the giver of that surprise open-air party. "I hope you'll like Cecilia." A moment or two later, Ruby and Bobby and Percy were all staring at a rather battered and tattered doll. "I had her when I was very little," laughed Maisie. "Isn't she a darling?" But there was hardly time for Maisie's friends to agree. Just because then the other guests started to arrive. It proved to be a simply super party. There was dancing to gramophone music, games, sports, and a lovely tea. "Thank you very much, Maisie," chorused Maisie Mouse's three friends, when at last it was time to go home. "It was a wonderful party. This is the best we've ever been to." "Shall we be seeing you tomorrow?" added Bobby Bear. Maisie nodded. "Of course," she answered, "because there's now no need for me to see Cecilia." But after that, whenever Maisie couldn't go with her friends, they always shouted in chorus, "Are you seeing Cecilia?" Thank you very much for listening to me read a story from Bobby Bear's annual. So, when children were growing up in the 50s and 60s, well, my parents particularly, they would get a book once a year called an annual, and it would have lots of stories, games, and all sorts of puzzles and stuff in it. And this particular one came out in 1962. I think it's a pretty great book. It's very interesting, and I think the drawing style is pretty interesting as well. Thank you guys so much for listening to me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!